The Virginia man accused of placing pipe bombs outside the DNC and RNC headquarters the night prior to the January 6th Capitol riot has confessed, according to a new court filing from the Department of Justice. The DOJ says Brian Cole Jr. told the FBI he had concerns over the 2020 election and that someone needed to, quote, speak up. CBS News Justice correspondent Scott MacFarlane joins us now. Scott, walk us through more of what this filing says.
So much of what the Department of Justice is arguing here, Lindsay, is what they say Brian Cole admitted during a post-arrest interrogation. They say he waived his Miranda rights and started talking to federal agents almost immediately. They say at first he denied being the Capitol Hill pipe bomber, but then acknowledged doing so and said that something just snapped in him, that he had grave concerns about the 2020 election results, that he was on Capitol Hill at that precious moment of January 5th, 2021, as part of a protest against the 2020 election results earlier in the day. But there's little else in this detention memo from the Department of Justice that speaks to motive or whether there was any connection between what Brian Cole had for politics and what he did that evening, allegedly. We expect there to be a pretty animated detention hearing tomorrow. And we say that because, Lindsay, the defense attorneys in this case have argued that tomorrow, the Department of Justice should show its work to put up or shut up whatever evidence it has. They think the charging document is thin, and all of this seems to be based on the words of the defendant, whose family says he has a developmental disability.
Has there been any more word about these pipe bombs, the destruction they could have caused, how he came to learn and understand how to make these pipe bombs?
What's noteworthy here to me, Lindsay, is so little has been mentioned in any of the Department of Justice's filings about January 6, 2021. They make no arguments in their filings about whether those bombs were there to aggravate or cause chaos ahead of the insurrection. They do say that Brian Cole denied having any motivation or any ties to January 6th, but they don't mention the insurrection as part of their case here. Perhaps the prior Department of Justice under President Biden would be more prone to mention January 6th. It was their prosecution. The Trump administration shut down all January 6th prosecutions. But the more fundamental answer to your question is that it's been said at the time and since that these things could have been destructive, could have been deadly, though they allege that Brian Cole said he didn't want them to kill anyone, which is why they say he put them there at night.
And really quickly, because of your expertise on this beat, do you foresee any issues with this confession later being used in court, given what his family and defense attorneys say about his developmental disorder?
I think considering the notoriety of this case, the historic nature of this case, Lindsay, this could be a blockbuster hearing tomorrow in federal court in Washington, and of course we'll be there.
Okay, Scott MacFarlane, thank you.